What's happening, guys? Matt Sheriff here, and in this video I want to talk about Bitcoin price history and look at some of the things that have kind of affected the price and the volatility in past years and kind of how that is shaping up now. So this is usually a good graph to go to on Coinbase, but for whatever reason it doesn't want to show before 2013, which doesn't matter too much, but as you can see, this one's a little bit weird, but it does show 2011. So really 2011 for Bitcoin is starting to gain some traction, but really between the years of 2009, 2012, even to like 2013, it's really just an idea and a small community of really coders and developers that know about Bitcoin and kind of are on the bandwagon. There isn't any like salespeople or anything like that. It's very techie people um, who are obviously into code, can write cryptography, can understand all that stuff, which is complex. So they're kind of the people that are getting behind it in the very early years. They haven't got any marketing, they haven't got anyone pushing Bitcoin saying, hey, this is what it can do some amazing things, everyone adopt it. Through these beginning years, we can kind of see, October 2010, January 2011, it's not really gaining much traction. And then in 2011, it goes up a little bit around the middle of 2011 and then comes back down, as we can see there. And then there's just this big valley, um, like halfway between 2011 and then 2012. And really, that's just because it's so new and it hasn't gained, the volume, the user base, and all that stuff that drives the price up. So then we can go back over here, and 2013, that's where we kind of see it start to rise and start to gain some traction. Um, even like, even though slightly before that, it's coming into 2012 in the like middle-ish. You're starting to see Bitcoin hit $1 and a couple of dollars, and then at the start of 2013, it's around $13, which is pretty amazing from where it come from, where it was fraction of cents. Um, 2009, 2010, 2011, and then the traction starts, and then people start to get behind it, money starts flowing into it. And then you can see, there's ups and downs even in the beginning phase. April 10th, 2013, it hits almost $215. And then you see it come back down under $100 in the middle of 2013. And then you see this massive spike over $1,000 in November 2013, which is insane growth. Obviously, a massive pump, and it's funny in the earlier years we can see like this huge dip and then this huge drop off, and and you kind of see that, and then through 2014 to um, 2015 ish, around here, there's this huge valley. Um, but I think, as Bitcoin goes and the years pass, more people get on board, more money comes in, the economy starts to become more stable. And, some of the news that happens does affect Bitcoin as people, whatever, something happens and people want to sell it. But it usually always recovers. And that's what we can kind of see here, this up and down phase. But over time, it is rising and rising. there's just this volatility because it's obviously so new, and a lot of money coming in and also being sold creates those big ups and those big downs too. It's interesting here as well. You can see kind of some info. I know like 2010, I always think it's May 22nd, 2010, which is right even before that. The first two pizzas were bought with Bitcoin, which I think is super interesting. The first like physical products, and there's a bunch of different news that happens, and all across these years, governments are trying to decide what to do with it. China's thinking, should we regulate it? America's thinking, how do we tax it? What do we count it as? Is it real money? Is it an asset like a property? Different countries have formed different views on it. Um, Sometimes the way they tax it can be different and all that kind of stuff. But basically, with the price history, there are these ups and downs between, the years of 2014-ish to around the start of 2016. There's a big valley, and then you see different bear trends and bull trends. Bull is going up, bear is coming down. Um, Keep happening, which is super, super interesting. And it's really all about the money that's coming in and out of the economy. But obviously, there's more money coming in than out because that's what keeps driving the price up. And using Google Analytics and all that stuff, there is a strong evidence that the user base grows year in and year out, which increases the volume worldwide, and that's what pushes the price up. So you can see now in 2017, this year has been a huge bull trend, up and up to the highest point, over $1,800 that Bitcoin has ever had. It surpassed gold. It's performing like crazy, and that's really because of the new money that's coming into the economy. China are massive players, Russia, the US. But what's really affected it also within the last couple months is Japan have made it legal tender within the country because they tried to outlaw it, but then they changed it. Um, June, was it May 1st or April 1st? Sometime around here. Um, so everybody in Japan could buy Bitcoin if they wanted to, and Japan is a very technology and kind of forward-driven country, so there's a massive influx of that. And I know on July 1st, I believe Australia are doing the same thing because they have kind of taxed it and put regulations on it in a way that's made it more difficult for people to get a hold of. But they're passing a law within the next month or so that it will be legal tender and it will be treated just as money. So for businesses and people alike, it's way easier to buy and sell Bitcoin. So that'll be more money coming into the economy. So I'm sure this bull trend may continue up, and up. Some experts are saying, it could reach the $2,000, $2,500, $3,000 mark before it does come down. So super interesting to see the history. Within the early years, it didn't even have much traction really. It was just a bunch of coders and developers really getting behind this, and then other people saw it and thought, okay, there might be something here, and then investors and different people around the world have come in and drove the price up. And the really interesting thing is, and obviously I'm talking about countries and regulations, and obviously the remittance market has had some effect on it in terms of the payment solution that Bitcoin brings, across borders, making it easier, faster, safer, more efficient, open, and trusted. That has been a factor to the price rise. But a huge factor has been the fact that Bitcoin has been a safe haven for so many people around the world, for it being part of somebody's portfolio that's outside of the system, that is a safe store of value, that's decentralized, that is open, that's trusted, that you completely own and it can't be manipulated or controlled. So that's a massive factor to why Bitcoin's price has gone up, because the user and the volume has gone crazy up. Like India and them doing crazy things with their currency and banning certain notes, and there's huge influxes into Bitcoin, and China announcing that they're going to devalue their currency openly. Well, obviously people are going to try and find an outlet. And obviously Japan's been in a crazy recession, so those people are going to flood to Bitcoin, to an appreciating currency rather than a depreciating one. So just super interesting to see, the history, the ups, the downs, the valleys, kind of sometimes here, like the consistency, and then like the massive bear trend that we're in now. And I really think with the currency crisis that are going on, with the potential economic crisis that's coming, all the unshaky things that's happening in world economics at the minute, it's only keep going to drive the price up. So it's going to be interesting to see where this goes now that we can like kind of look at this and see the history of Bitcoin, and now where we're at right now with a huge bull trend going on. And some of the news that's coming out with the ETF being reanalyzed and all that kind of stuff. But I think Bitcoin's at a stage now where it's such a beast that the market cap, the volume, the user base is bigger than some South African countries, some European countries. So the ecosystem is growing, and as it grows, it becomes more stable, which means that it doesn't fluctuate as much unless something really extreme happens. But this space is still new. It's in its infancy. It's very, very interesting to see what's going on, and I hope you kind of got something from this video, and kind of looking at the history of Bitcoin, and kind of where it's heading and why it's heading there, and some of the factors that are contributing to it. So this is Bitcoin price history. I hope you got something from that analysis. I'm Matt Sheriff. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. If you're new to cryptocurrency, you can check out my free crypto crash course that'll break down Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, and the blockchain. Wherever you are in this industry, sign up for my newsletter. I share a lot of good things in this space. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. So I'm Matt Sheriff. I'll see you on the next video, and thanks for watching.